this was certainly something. A cat fight, sexy outfits, a despair end, um, very many different star dresses that was actually pretty cool looking. And at the same time, a question that we all are asking ourselves, just how are they gonna defeat her now? I for one felt that this chapter just was that satisfaction. Even the haters should have liked this chapter. After all, it had a despair ending. But I know they're not gonna like it. Hi, for those who are watching. It's me, the angry anime fan, the despair reviewer, to bring you my chapter review rant about Fairy Tail 501. With the confirmation that yes, Nineheart did indeed get one-shotted by Natsu, Brandish decides to enlarge his tumor again, which is surprisingly here, because, well, the fact that he says that he is not gonna, that he's gonna fight her if she's in his way. So she begins to say that even if I owe you a lot, and even if I have nothing against you, he is still a threat to our kingdom, and that he chooses to be my enemies. So Brandish takes off her shirt, which again, she is is pretty strange looking. But when she wields her jacket, she actually looks like she is fully clothed. But she takes that off. Oh my god, it's so full of sexiness. It is even a pretty risky shot in the manga. Although she says she has nothing against Lucy anymore, this is something uh, she cannot allow, because, well, after all, Natsu decides to oppose Alvarez. Although I think there is another reason. So Lucy decides to fight. And here also happens some very strange thing, is that Brandish actually shows some skills in hand-to-hand. While that may actually not be so strange, she did choke Lucy. It's more the fact that Kana knocked her out with one punch before, but then again that was because she was so full of hay fever that she didn't have it. And it's then that Lucy shows a new cool star dress, which is Scorpio. And it's then Brandish shrinks her, but Lucy proves that she has another cool form. It's Cancer form, and I gotta say that Cancer form is looking mighty impressive. I mean, Cancer in himself is a pretty stellar spirit. We do not know if is that useful. But when Lucy changes into the form, she seems to have sword-like scissors, or maybe they are scissors, but she wields them just like swords. I guess similar to that anime Kill la Kill, and travels around her body and cutting up. So Brandish shrinks her up again. It's then Lucy switches to Aquarius form. That even though she doesn't have Aquarius as a spirit anymore, she still can change into her suit, which Scorpio uh, praises. But with all that, Brandish can still absorb the magic and says that she says to Lucy that she shouldn't fight her, because after all she has much more strong magic power. But Lucy, being a true Fairy Tail member, saying that they're not gonna back down. She's gonna protect Natsu. After all, they turned their faith. But then the party gets crashed with Dimara appears, who says that everything, so reveals something to us. Is again, I hate the fact that all the Spring M12 has such story-breaking powers, because once the people defeat them, the haters will not stop complaining. But the fact is that Brandish makes, no, not Brandish, Dimara makes a pretty good point here. Apparently Brandish power is so powerful that she can even makes a person explode from the inside out, and she can shrink Lucy and to microsize and then just crush her like that. So why does she shrink her and then just enlarge her again? Well, apparently because Brandish do not actually have a feeling to kill Lucy, and also because even though she enlarged the tumor inside of Natsu, she could do that even more. And to Dimara, she did that because, well, she knew Dimara was watching. So Dimara clicks her teeth and cuts Brandish. So I guess this confirms at least the feeling, not the feeling. What did I say? This does at least confirm that Dimara has not lost her H-seal, and that clicking power is just something she always does when she's angry. She does it again, but uh, but then she takes her feet down, pushes Lucy down. With Brandish cut, Brandish falls, but one wonder actually, has Brandish died? Well, this is fairy tale. And in fairy tale, even though Brandish is a villain, it's not exactly clear what happens. But Lucy is at the mercy of Dimara, who with tears in her eyes says that I'm gonna make you suffer a horrible death. Gotta say, Dimara's even Alvarez empire has a very, very, very mixed perceptive. I mean, that was perfectly clear ever since Seraph was revealed to be the emperor. I mean, the way Invel praises darkness and stuff like that. I mean, I agree with him that darkness is not necessarily evil, but Invel's talk about morality seems to be more out of a fanatic loyalty and I expect you to run this way, almost like he has no will of his own. Dimara and Nineheart attacked Brandish because because her thought of a different conscience, well, they said that as betrayal. Even August saw that a little bit as betrayal, even though he changed his mind for a brief moment, since he has always known Brandish. And now Dimara is holding Lucy down with tears in her eyes, accusing Lucy for being the one who changed her Brandish. I guess that means, well, Dimara really is a lesbian. Don't get me wrong, it's nothing wrong with that, but uh, Dimara is a little bit crazy. I guess she's the second psycho lesbian after Kyokai, but even Dimara seems to have some kind of I mean Dimara, not Brandish, although we don't know about what she likes or dislikes. But even Dimara has some missed way. She accuses Lucy for being the one to change Brandish when Dimara was the one who cut her down. Well, it's true, Lucy did a little bit change Brandish, but it seemed to be for a moment there that all through this confusion, Brandish is the only one of the Springham that has a will of her own. A questionable will, so to speak. A will that actually asks herself, because she said this before she changed her mind to August, I see no sense in this war. That's just it. The Alvarez Empire has no sense. They have strong powers, but they do not have any sense. They only want to conquer. But why? Well, because Seraph is the Empire and they want Fairy Heart, but it's gotta be something more than that. So, all in all, the chapter ended with full of despair, and no Altair thought protection has appeared yet. So, I see no way how Lucy can save herself. And now that Natsu's tumor is back, then he really needs to be healed. Strangely enough, next chapter is called Mavis and Sarah. Does that mean Mavis is now gonna meet her childhood friend Sarah again? Or Sarah gonna say to Mavis to finally unleash Fairy Heart? And is that gonna give Fairy Tail the magic power they need in order to defeat them? Please make it so. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't mind if Fairytale defeats Springham 12 with the power of friendship, but it would make all the more fun if Mavis somehow could control Fairy Heart and then spread infinite magic power towards Fairytale. But give me your thoughts if you have any.